What's going on, everybody? Chargers Now is presented by PrizePicks. I'm your host, Will Ortner. Happy Mother's Day to everyone out there. If you're a mother watching the channel, shout out to you. You're the best. If you are not a mother, go say Happy Mother's Day to your mom. Give her a call. On today's show, we're going to discuss some potential cut candidates for the Chargers. Who could end up making this team and who's not going to end up making this team? I think there are a couple of these guys that are going to shock some people. But I'm telling you right now, there's at least some murmurs that they might not be on the squad. I want you to sound off right now in the comment section. What player is a must-keep for the Los Angeles Chargers? Don't say Justin Herbert. We know he's not getting cut. Don't say Akeem Mesidor. He's not going anywhere. Find a player that's on the bubble right now and let me know who must stay with this Los Angeles Chargers team. First player that we're going to talk about is Junior Colson, a linebacker out of Michigan who unfortunately has not seen a lot of success in the National Football League. Now, Colson is a player that when he came to LA in the draft, it definitely felt like he was going to be a really good addition to the squad. But as you can see, we have his 24 stats on the screen right now. There's not a lot of stuff there. And I'll tell you right now, we went to do his 25 stats, and they were even worse. So this is a guy who's seen his production go down, year after year after year. And you've seen his spot on the depth chart go back. He just feels like a player that right now doesn't have what it takes to be on this Chargers roster. You also have to go in and think about the fact that the Chargers have a ton of talent in that linebacker room right now. There's a lot of players that play on multiple sides of the football. And when I say multiple sides, of course, I'm talking about special teams. You got guys like Dye, Phillips. I think very highly of Lander Barton. I think this linebacking team and this unit is rock solid with a ton of talent everywhere. So there's a chance that a guy like Colson, who's had a couple of years in the organization, well, if he doesn't end up turning it on during training camp this year, might end up being the end of him in LA. I got four more guys we need to discuss, but first I need to let you know that today's show is made possible by PrizePicks. PrizePicks is America's #1 sports app and is the best place to win cash while watching sports. With playoff basketball finally here, there's no better time to cash in than with our friends at PrizePicks. And I'll tell you this, the app is really easy to use. To qualify for a PrizePicks lineup, pick 2 to 6 players and select more or less on stat projections, including points, rebounds, assists, three-pointers, and several others across all sports. With the new social feeds feature, you can share PrizePicks with your friends and copy lineups with a single click. That, of course, includes myself and producer Searle. You follow us on PrizePicks and get the picks before they even get posted on the show. I have a lineup for the football action going on later on this year. Justin Herbert, more on his pass yards. Quentin Johnston, more on his receiving TDs. Rashid Shaheed, more on his receiving yards. New user offer. Download the PrizePicks app today and use code HMA when you play your first $5 lineup to receive $50 in lineups. That's code HMA when you play your first $5 lineup to get an extra $50 in lineups with PrizePicks. Clickable link to download the app is in the comments and description. Bud Dupree is the next cut candidate for the Chargers. I should mention that these are also not in any order, and I'm not saying necessarily that anyone will get cut. They're just definitely on the bubble. Bud Dupree, over the last 4 seasons, has significantly seen a decrease in his stat line. It feels like year after year after year, more and more players are starting to pass Bud Dupree by. He's not the player that he was 5-6 years ago. When we look at the depth chart again here on that outside linebacker position, Bud Dupree's already a backup, and he's already looking at kind of being that fourth edge rusher between Tuli, Khalil Mack, and Akeem Mesidor. And I'm telling you right now, Kennard, he's in a good position to put himself in a spot where he's going to be able to get some reps. I just feel like Bud Dupree, the signing, it was a smart decision at the time. The Chargers were trying to get another elite edge rusher, but unfortunately, it just hasn't worked out. And because it hasn't worked out, it might be time now to cut bait and move on. Dupree's not getting any younger, and it certainly feels like his best days are behind him in the National Football League. Let's talk about Trevor Penning next, because the offensive lineman is someone that I've been pretty vocal about saying you cannot have him be a starter on your team, which is probably a little bit mean, so hand up. I apologize if I hurt Trevor Penning's feelings. But right now, when you look at the depth chart for the Los Angeles Chargers, he's not a starting guard. He's someone that didn't have a lot of success in the National Football League at his previous stop with the New Orleans Saints. He hasn't been all that good in Los Angeles with the Chargers. He was originally supposed to be a tackle. He wasn't moving well enough. Now he's supposed to be a guard. He's not doing great at that either. It just feels like there's a lot of young talent on this team between Taylor, Harkey, Slaughter, as well as Cole Strange. I know he's not young, but he is another talented player. That at this point, Trevor Penning, I don't know he makes sense with this Chargers team. In my personal opinion, it doesn't make sense for the Chargers to keep a roster spot for a guy that we've probably seen what he's going to be in the National Football League. And that is a below average backup guard. In my opinion, there isn't a reason for this team to keep him. My apologies to Trevor Penning and his family. I think that he probably gets cut. I just predicted a player that I think is not going to make the Chargers roster. I want you to now do the same in the comment section. Who will not make the Chargers 53-man roster? You let me know. Again, don't pick someone that's obvious. Go and pick someone that is on the bubble, and it could go either way. Let us know in the comment section. Derius Davis is next, wide receiver. Now, I feel like when you look at Davis, he was someone that was brought in to kind of be a change of pace guy. He was someone that was supposed to kind of be your gadget, speedster. He hasn't really done a whole lot. Now, there is something to be said about Davis being in the Mike McDaniel system, and he might get a little bit more run and a little bit more use. But he was definitely someone that in his career, he hasn't been used a whole lot in Los Angeles, and I think they drafted his replacement in Brennan Thompson. And I've been pretty vocal here on the channel, not just over the last week, but for quite some time, that I think Thompson is a hidden gem, a steal, if you will. When you look at his yardage numbers, he led the SEC, and he led it at Mississippi State, a team that's not very good. Aside from his drops, he catches the football really well. He's got a good ability to get in the end zone. He's a deep threat. He catches the ball short, intermediate. He does all the things, man. I think he's going to be really good, and I think that ends up edging Davis out, unfortunately. I don't know that Davis is going to be in Los Angeles in the 2026 NFL season. This last one, this is the big shocker. Tony Jefferson, I do believe, has a chance to not be on this roster next season. Now, I think it would make a lot of people shocked, and it would surprise a lot of people to hear, hey, the Chargers brought back Tony Jefferson, and now they're contemplating possibly moving on from him. But when you look at Tony Jefferson's career, obviously he's already had his one retirement, but he is someone who's been pretty successful, but also beat up. He's someone that's had injuries. He's missed games. He's been productive, but he's also someone that, again, is on the wrong side of 30. The Chargers went in and drafted a kid by the name of Genesis Smith out of Arizona. I think very highly of this guy. I think that he is going to have an opportunity to learn from Jefferson if that's the way that the Chargers want to go. I also think that there's a chance that the Chargers look at Smith, they look at Jefferson, and they look at some of the other spots on the roster and say, we're okay with playing the young buck because, hey, mistakes happen. We'll hold out hope that he'll learn from them quickly and he'll just instantly become the starting safety for this team for years to come and move on from Jefferson, either for cap purposes or because there's other position groups that need more depth on the back end. When I look at this safety crew, it's a good group. It's a solid group. But maybe there's a chance that Tony Jefferson ends up being moved on from because his replacement was already drafted. Now, I want this to be very clear. And so if you go into the comment section and you say that you hate me and that I'm a big dumb idiot, well, I'm mad at you. But most importantly, these are all players that could be cut. Not saying that we want them to be cut. Not saying that they will be cut, except for Trevor Penning. We are saying that we are projecting them as someone who, at least right now, is on the bubble to making the 53-man roster for the Chargers. If you're on the bubble, you better be working your butt off in OTAs, minicamp, and training camp. So that way you can make this squad. Thank you guys so much for viewing today's video. Like I said, hope you had a wonderful Mother's Day. Hopefully you're going to continue to have a wonderful Mother's Day. Hit that subscribe button if it's your first time viewing the channel. We really appreciate it. Thank you guys so much. Make sure that you bolt up.